गुड इवनिंग इंडिया। फैम हेल्थ लाइव पर आपका फिर से स्वागत है। काफी सारी बीमारियों का जड़ है हमारा पेट, और हम उसमें क्या डालते हैं ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। न्यूट्रिशन से जुड़ी इस स्पेशल सीरीज में हम फिर से लाए हैं आपके लिए टॉप एक्सपर्ट इन फंक्शनल मेडिसिन मोना जौहर, जो लाइव है न्यूयॉर्क से, और वो है को फाउंडर मैकेनिज्म वेलनेस की। आज हम बात करेंगे फूड सेंसिटिविटीज पर। वेलकम टू द शो मोना वंस अगेन।
Thank you so much, Roshali.
You're looking really good, but पहले फूड सेंसिटिविटीज के बारे में बात करने से पहले हम आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं कि आपने रिसेंटली अपना कोविड का वैक्सीन लगवाया है। You've got your second shot done today. So how has the experience been? Is there discomfort?
Well, I got my second shot yesterday, and with the first shot, it was like a little bit pain in the arm after 24 hours, and the second shot is a little tougher to take. There is a lot of pain in the arm, and it started like I want to say like 7 to 8 hours after I got the vaccine, and of course I've been feeling kind of down and flu-like symptoms. So yeah.
Okay, so it's been a difficult vaccine for you. आपकी फैमिली का क्या रिएक्शन रहा है मोना? Are they in the similar state or?
Well, nobody else has gotten the vaccine yet. I'm the only one because being in the healthcare industry, I was able to get it.
Okay.
But the others are still waiting in line.
Okay. So all the best for it. I'm sure it's going to do wonders for you, as is the rest of the world. Coming back, फूड सेंसिटिविटीज के बारे में अगर हम बात करें, और पिछले हफ्ते भी हमने सीरीज में काफी हद तक बात करी थी पेट से लेके बीमारियों की, ब्लोटिंग स्पेशली के बारे में करी थी। मैं अपने व्यूअर्स को ये जरूर बताना चाहूंगी कि ब्लोटिंग रिलेटेड जो टॉपिक है हमारा कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ था, तो हम जरूर किसी और थर्सडे को इस पे कंटिन्यूड डिस्कशन करेंगे। टुडे वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फूड सेंसिटिविटीज। मोना, फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट, एलर्जी एंड सेंसिटिविटी में क्या फर्क होता है?
So basically, when it comes to allergy and sensitivity, allergy is something that is an immediate reaction. You eat certain foods and or you are exposed to some other what we call antigens. It could be a pathogen, any virus, bacteria, fungi, or it could be a food, uh, any food item, and your body doesn't like it for some reason, and it has like a very prominent reaction that your throat starts closing, or you have a massive headache. So those are the kind of things are what we call an IgE mediated reactions. So that is an allergy. Now that is different from a sensitivity. So a sensitivity is like when we in a lab test, what we'll measure is IgG, IgM, and IgA. So in these kind of reactions, the reaction is usually delayed. For example, you drink, say, milk, and you will get a reaction like a bloating or maybe gas production after 15-20 minutes or so. With the difference between an allergy would be that you would need an anaphylactic pen, like an EpiPen. So it could be because your throat will start constricting. It could be life-threatening. For example, you must have heard a lot of people talk about peanut allergy. Right. So many people have died because of peanut allergies. So those are the kind of reactions that happen with an IgE mediated reaction. Those are what we categorize as allergy. A sensitivity is something, oh, I'm sensitive to something, for example, milk or gluten or soy, and I will have a delayed reaction, but it's not life-threatening. It increases the inflammation in the body. And sometimes what happens is that over a period of time, say for example, if you're allergic to milk, you keep drinking milk, and those little symptoms that you have because your body is not accepting it, they kind of become exaggerated over a long period of time. And that's when your body will just like start reacting immediately. But these are not life-threatening reactions. So that is what is categorized in sensitivity. So allergy is life-threatening, sensitivity is.
Okay. A very basic question again, coming from a layman's perspective. Can a sensitivity convert into an allergy if not taken care of in good time?
It may not, but that is all like how bad your inflammation is because of your body reacting to that one particular substance.
ओके द अदर थिंग अगर उसमें हम थोड़ा डेप्थ में और जाएं आपने जो बोला बहुत अच्छे से समझाया कि लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग हो सकता है एलर्जी वेरस सेंसिटिविटी मे नॉट बी लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग बट इट कीप creeping up as an annoying reaction that your
Yes.
body will give. So for a layman, and I've heard lots of people very commonly say, I'm allergic. I'm
Yeah.
allergic, right? And they may be allergic, I don't know, but can we as common people understand the difference from symptoms itself, whether it's an allergy or not? People talk about strawberries, people talk about nuts like you were mentioning, and dairy. These are the
Huh.
three big areas that I see people say हमें तो allergy है.
Well, see that's what I'm saying. So the allergy would really manifest as something that could have like a very immediate, very strong reaction. Agar, say for example, if you say eat a strawberry like you mentioned, and you develop a rash right away, yeah, you would count it as an allergy. But for you to specifically put it in the bucket of allergy versus a sensitivity, you have to do a blood test. So where we would measure the your levels of IgG, IgM, IgA, and IgE. So which is like an anaphylactic driven kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, if one does figure out that you have sensitivity to, and let's commonly say dairy for that matter, अगर आपको पता चल जाता है कि आपकी body sensitive है, bloating हो जाती है, या nausea feeling आती है, whatever the symptoms could be, would you then start eliminating all food products in that category? Is that how you start getting yourself better?
So there's a process to it, Vishali. I guess I should first explain like why people react. So, for example, if they're to your point, we're talking strawberry or milk, or just pick one. So
Yeah.
okay, so we pick milk. So when the body, when the body senses something that it does not like, your body, the immediate reaction is producing an antibody, an immune reaction in which the body will create antibodies against that particular food substance. Usually that the antibodies are created to the protein that is present in that food substance. So for example, if it's strawberry, the little protein that is present in the strawberry is what your body will react to. If it is milk, it'll be the protein that is present in milk that your body starts reacting to, creating an inflammatory response, creating an immune response, creating antibodies against. But it is not only strawberries that your body might react to. So to answer your question, there is something called molecular mimicry. So your body, anything that your body thinks looks like strawberry, or that little protein structure that it is reacting to, is kind of similar to say kiwi or mango. It will start reacting to those also. So it is a process of what we call that, we either do blood test to ascertain what all things you are allergic to, or we go on an elimination diet to figure out what all things your body is reacting to, and then start eliminating them one by one. So it is a process. It has to be done extremely methodically for you to understand exactly what you're reacting to.
मोना उस उन लोगों के साथ क्या करें जो नहीं समझ पाते कौन सा फूड प्रोडक्ट है जिनसे उनकी बॉडी को रिएक्शन हो रहा है या सेंसिटिव हो रहे हैं. मुझे भी लगता है कभी कभी डेयरी डेयरी से मेरे को प्रॉब्लम होती है. But then sometimes, even after eliminating it for 10-15 days, it doesn't seem like it's gotten better. So then I keep thinking maybe it's something else. So if there are people like me who don't know what is causing the discomfort, how do we go about it, and how do specialists like you then start narrowing it down for us?
Okay, so for in a situation like this, what we do is we'll put you on an elimination diet. Uske andar it like I said, it is extremely methodical, like how we go about doing it. What we do is, like I told you, like, you know, your body could be reacting to one thing, but it might present as something different because the chemical structures could be same in different food items. The protein that the antigen, the protein particle that the body is reacting to could be similar, and your body is has that kind of a reaction. So what we do is, first, with people who have a lot of food sensitivities, that, like, you know what, they just don't understand. I don't feel good, and I know that every time I eat foods I react adversely, like kuch hota hai. So for them, what we do is we put them on an elimination diet. In an elimination diet, we for the first 3 weeks, what we do is we eliminate the most common triggers, which would be gluten, eggs, all your dairy, soy products. So all these are, and shellfish. We eliminate all of these. For 3 weeks, no matter what you do, you cannot have anything that contains any of these food items. And then we start after 3 weeks. What we do is we'll start introducing one thing at a time, and then see how your body responds to it, and then introduce another thing, and then introduce another thing. And that's when you know, at the end of 3 weeks, how do you feel. If at the end of 3 weeks you're like, oh my god, I feel like a totally different person, and usually people do, because we've taken out all processed foods, we discourage people from having caffeine, we discourage people from having alcohol. So when you take out everything bad from your diet, and literally you are living on fresh fruits, home cooked vegetables, like all clean food items, your body kind of just starts like it gets rejuvenated, and that's when you start feeling a lot better. So I literally, everybody comes back and says, oh my god, I'm thinking so much clearer, my brain fog is gone, and I feel more energetic, my symptoms that I was having because of food, they are gone. But now we don't want you to, like, you know, keep avoiding these foods all the time, so we will introduce one thing at a time. So for example, after you're done with your 3 weeks, then you introduce whatever you want to say. For example, egg. So you introduce egg, have it 3 times a day on day 1, and then not have it for another almost 3 days. So after 3 days, then you will see some people will react to that egg right away. If egg is what's causing problem, they will react to it, and the reaction is going to be exaggerated, because for 3 weeks you haven't had that food. So all those histamine antibodies, all those your antibodies, your immune system, it's standing like on guard. When is egg going to come and I'm going to just pounce on it? So it's like a really exaggerated response. So you will know that, you know, it was egg. So then you do not continue egg, you stop eating egg. And after 3 days, then you introduce the next one. So if the next one seems to be soy, then you introduce, like, okay, so I'll have some soy sauce, I'll have some tofu, I'll have some whatever other soy product you might want to eat. Then you have that, like, you know, one day, and give it 3 days and see how you feel. So that's how we go about doing it.
Okay, another again, I don't know if it's pertinent, but if the food that's causing you this discomfort is not identified, or even as you are not being able to identify what the root cause is, would that then lead to something more severe? Like, for example, when you mentioned in food allergies, it could even go being fatal. In a food sensitivity issue, if you're sensitive to a certain kind of a food, could it, for example, hinder your weight loss or weight gain for that matter? Could it hinder, or could it increase your cholesterol for that matter? I mean, could it anyway complicate things in your body much more?
See, when you're eating something that your body does not like, what is happening? Your body does not like, it creates an inflammatory reaction. It creates an immune response. So your body is now, you know, in that attention mode. It's ready to attack anything that comes its way that is not meant to be in your body. So over a period of time, say for example, if you're mildly sensitive to peanuts, right? And you keep eating peanuts and you keep eating peanut sauce and peanut and this and peanut and that, your body, oh, what the inflammatory reactions, they're like always going on and on and on. What is the root cause of most diseases? Inflammation. So you don't know that, you know what, my body does not like peanuts, but I keep eating them. So the inflammatory processes, they always keep, they're always on a high, and that is what will lead to god knows what.
Other
It's always,
complications.
yeah, it could lead to any disease.
Okay, Mona, over the years, this has become a more commonly heard thing about food sensitivities, and people saying that um, मेरा ये खाने से तकलीफ होती है, मुझे ब्लोटिंग हो जाता है, मुझे गैस हो जाता है, नोजिया फीलिंग होता है, स्लीपी फीलिंग होता है. Why is it that we hear of this of late much more than when we did when we were children? And also, is it possible that I may not be sensitive to some food item when I was a kid, but the same thing could cause me discomfort today?
Very, very good question, Vishali. This is like something that people will talk about, argue to no end. So there's like very valid reasons for why there's increased amounts of food sensitivities, increased amounts of autoimmunity that are now emerging in our society. um, uh, Dr. Stephanie Seneff, an MIT researcher, she did a lot of research on this, and I'm sorry, and her research revealed a lot
Do
of
you want to drink a glass of water so that you're a little more comfortable?
yeah,
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
wait for you. You've done a big deal today by going and getting that vaccine done, Mona. So hats off to you. Totally inspiring to a lot of people, because in India, the process of getting vaccinated is much probably a little slower, being a larger country. So we are not being able to see the effects as much and as quickly. I'm glad we got to speak to you, because in spite of having gone through that and being a little under a little discomfort, you have been kind enough to come on the show today.
No,
So
thank you so much. We try the best. So
continue, please.
yeah, getting back to Dr. Seneff's research, there's several factors that play into it. So when we were growing, I want to say like about like 50 years ago, maybe 40 years ago, kind of that time frame, a lot of hybridization happened. So let's take, for example, wheat or gluten. So there was a lot of research going on. How can we end world hunger by producing a wheat that is drought resistant, pest resistant, and would be very, very hardy, so that we can provide food for majority of the people who are going hungry. And so what they did was they started experimenting with it, and they started hybridizing the wheat seed. And what happened is that over the years, our bodies, so when they hybridize anything, the molecular structure, the protein molecule, that changes. like I said earlier, that your body reacts to the protein that is there in any food item. So now when the protein structure changes, your body does not recognize it as wheat anymore. So it's like, I don't know what it is. So it starts generating an immune response towards it. It starts generating histamines to it. So that is one thing that literally happened, was hybridization. Intent was good, but you know what? Our bodies just did not accept it very well. Now, to add insult to the injury, use of pesticides, these chemical pesticides, the glyphosates, that has really increased over the years. Now, what happens is that these pesticides molecules, they go and attach themselves to the protein that is there in the wheat. So now, you know what? It has all of a sudden become even more foreign to our bodies than it was before. So our bodies are like, whoa, what's going on? I don't recognize this. Now, when there is a hybridized wheat that was sprayed with pesticides, and you process it to make whatever breads or whatever you want to make with that wheat, that while they're processing it, they kind of change that molecular structure even more to make it more palatable, to give it some kind
Flavor.
of
Yeah.
different characteristics to that food.
Correct.
So again, the protein molecule is further changed. Then you add those colorful food dyes to the food. Okay. So now what happens, these food dyes, they go and attach themselves to the protein, which is already God knows what now. And they work in a very specific way. So these, once the food these dyes, the color dyes, they attach themselves to the protein, they inhibit that protein from getting digested. So now we have this undigested protein that is there in the gut, and it's like, oh, what do I do now? Well, the body is like, I don't know what to do. So what happens is that it creates inflammation. It creates what's called a leaky gut. The lining of the gut, it gets compromised. The lining of the gut is supposed to be like, I'm sorry, there's like too much sun in my office today, so I'm trying to duck wherever I can. So the lining of the gut is supposed to be very tight, but because of this constant barrage of foods that we're eating, or toxins that we might be exposed to, they could be environmental, they could be in your food, they could be anywhere, this lining, it starts getting looser and looser. Now once there's like these little gaps in that lining, these big food protein particles that are supposed to be just in your gut and not go anywhere else, they start passing through that into your bloodstream. Now your blood, they're not supposed to be present in the bloodstream, but now they're there, and your body goes, wait, what is this foreign material that I'm seeing? So it creates another inflammatory response, another immune response, histamines go up. So all these things are happening. Plus, of course, we see your microbiome, like we see that how people's microbiome is so compromised these days, because we're constantly eating processed foods, foods that are not clean, or so many other things. So if the microbiome is further compromised in any person, they become more susceptible to foods not getting digested properly, and that adds to the insult. So all these things that were not there, say about 50 years ago when I was born, they're now, when I was born, people were eating food that looked like food, not food that looked like, I don't know, like something like totally different.
Yeah.
Food
It just
that
looks good
now,
now. Probably the taste and the nutritive value of it has reduced considerably.
yes.
Exactly like you're saying.
Yeah, so all these practices that I just talked about, they're they're fairly new. They were not present earlier when we were growing up. So that's why people were not reacting to all these things. And now, because the food is not like literally food anymore, people are reacting because their bodies are not recognizing it as food.
So beautifully explained today, Mona. This is really the more you went through the whole thing, I've suddenly realized that I probably want to eliminate a lot more other foods from my diet, because God knows which ones are causing all of these, and one should all of us need to be a little more informed, so that we can be make better choices for our nutrition and our daily diet. We want to ask you a lot more questions, Mona, and I know you're a bit under the weather thanks to the vaccine. We would love to talk more. What we will do is that we will continue this episode on another week. Promise our viewers who've been watching intently that we want to continue the topic on food sensitivities, and a lot of people do confuse allergies to sensitivities. We'll bring on a topic related to that as well. So thank you so much once again. If any of the viewers have questions related to food sensitivities, please do write into us at support@famhealth.in, or you can come and visit us at famhealth.in/community. Whatever questions we've not been able to take today, we will make sure we will get some time from Mona to get those answered and send them back to you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mona, once again.
Thank you so much. I really enjoy being on the platform and look forward to the next time. Thank you.